Okay guys, this is the setup for a 4-stroke SI engine performance test, or let's say Morse test. So both tests can be performed here. So we'll have a look on the setup one by one. Okay, let's start with the engine itself. So this is the 4-stroke 4-cylinder SI engine. Okay, so just by looking at it we can identify few parts. This is the inlet manifold, this is the ignition coil, this is the distributor. Okay, this is the flywheel, this is the engine starter. On the other side there is a exhaust manifold. Okay, this is the engine top, there is a engine head. Okay, so there is a throttle. So if this is operated using a accelerator, or let's say a pedal, the engine will accelerate. There is a throttle position sensor here. Accordingly, this will try to increase the flow rate or adjust the flow rate of fuel which is being injected inside the cylinder. So this is how let's say engine looks. This is a 3-cylinder as a 4-stroke SI engine. Okay, so this is connected to a dynamometer. Okay, this is a hydraulic dynamometer. So here see, this dynamometer will try to oppose the motion of engine. So this dynamometer is connected with the engine through this shaft. Okay, there is a universal coupling here inside this cover. Okay, and then it is connected to this hydraulic dynamometer. So what will happen, as it resists the motion of engine, the equal and opposite force will be applied on the dynamometer. So that force will be measured in the spring balance. Okay, so this force which is being measured is the force applied on that engine. So this force into distance of this force from the center, this is the radius. So this force into this radius will give you torque, and you can measure the rpm just by connecting a, let's say, rpm meter on at this central shaft. So you will come to know what is the rpm, and if you know the torque, if you know the rpm, you will come to know what is the power of the engine, or that is the brake power. Okay, so to measure the performance, there are some parameters we need. So to measure the input parameters, first of all we'll look at the fuel flow rate. So this is the let's say a beaker through which the fuel is going. So whenever we turn off this knob, so what will happen, this is the main fuel inlet from the tank, and this is the fuel which is going to the engine. So whenever we turn off this like this, this is the turning on, and if you turn this off like this, what will happen, whatever fuel there is inside this tube, it will just, that fuel will go to the engine. So we'll have a stopwatch, we'll, let's say, start counting from 20 ml, and we'll count the time till engine consumes 10 more ml. So from 20 to 30, let's say 10 ml is consumed, and for that some time is required. So based on this volume and the time required for that volume, what will happen, we can calculate the mass flow rate of fuel. So this is how mass flow rate is calculated for fuel. And let's say if you want to calculate the mass flow rate of air, so there is a Venturi meter. Let me show you that. Yeah, it's inside the box, but it's not visible from outside. But what visible here is the manometer. So here you can see there is a manometer, and manometer is used to check the pressure difference. So this pressure difference is measured for the orifice meter, which is installed in the inlet, at the inlet manifold. Okay, or at the inlet where the air is going inside the engine. So there will be a delta P across the orifice meter. So that delta P will translate into mass flow rate of air. So in that way, if we know this delta, let's say height difference in manometer, we'll know the delta P, and from that we know the dimensions of orifice meter. Then we'll come to know the mass flow rate of air. So we know the air flow rate, we know the mass flow rate of air, and we know the mass flow rate of fuel. So in that way we'll know what is the let's say input power, and from brake power, from this dynamometer we'll come to know what is the output. So in that way we can know the performance of the engine. Okay, now uh, let's talk about the performance measurement and also the heat balance sheet. So for heat balance sheet, you need to know temperatures at certain locations. So see, these are the two pipes which are going, one is inlet water going to the engine, or that's a cooling water going to the engine, and cooling water which is coming out of the engine. So there are two thermocouples attached to it, so that will come to know how much amount of heat is carried away by the engine cooling water. Okay, and if you know this temperature, mcp delta t, cp is constant, delta t is known, and for mass flow rate, see this is given, or let's say this is this water flow rate can be measured using this rotameter. Okay, it's written engine rotameter here. So whatever flow rate we adjust here, there will be a float which will come to a certain location. We can adjust that using this knob. Okay, so that particular reading will give you what is the volumetric flow rate, that is lph of water, and from that you know, you can know the mass flow rate of water just by multiplying the density, and you know the mass flow rate, you know the cp, you know the delta t. So that in that way we can know what is the heat carried away by engine cooling water. Okay, same goes for heat carried away by exhaust gases. So here you can clearly see this is the exhaust manifold, and as this gas enters the this exhaust calorimeter, there is a temperature sensor. You can measure this temperature. This gas flows through this calorimeter and again come back and exits from this pipe. So again there is a thermocouple attached here, so you can know what is the let's say heat or let's say temperature of gas before calorimeter, temperature of gas after calorimeter. Okay, and this gas which is being cooled, it is cooled using this water. So this water, if you know this flow rate of water and inlet and outlet temperature of water, what will happen, you can know what is the heat carried away by cooling water to the calorimeter. Okay, so again, for to measure this mass flow rate of water, you have a separate rotameter, and from that you can know the mass flow rate of water going through this calorimeter. Okay, and you know the delta t, again mcp delta t, you will come to know what is the heat carried away by water from exhaust gases. Okay, this is it. So in that way you can know how much amount of heat is being carried away by brake power, by engine cooling water, and by let's say exhaust gases, and remaining will be unaccounted heat losses. Okay, this is how performance test is performed. Okay.